Oh, hi. Welcome to the Unreliable podcast. Because I
Yeah.
guess we're not doing. We haven't done squares in a while, but this one's just as good.
Yeah,
But
sorry for the task force, but it won't go away. So that's
Didn't
gonna.
we do squares 2 ago?
no,
Pretty sure we did.
no, because each one we've done. No, no. Yeah. Well, the first one we did that didn't have Andy M. Did you?
Oh.
Okay, then that was the squares.
Me? No.
Welcome to the podcast,
Yeah.
where we
We're
talk about
talking.
fun things and you listen.
Ah!
We also yell at random
What was
stuff.
that sound?
We don't know what. We just kind of yell.
I jumped off of a building and crashed and got a medal for it. So
Kind of what it sounded like too. So yeah.
anyway,
Well, we
so
have.
today's topics are
No,
supernatural occurrences.
no, they're not. Tell them.
Starting off with supernatural occurrences.
We have a special guest with us again, Andrew M. Not to be
Hello.
confused with Andy D. Everyone's name should be labeled, so you should see, like, when their name pops up and it has a blue thing around it, that's who's talking, if you don't know us by now. And if you hear a guy talking and you don't see it, then that would be me, because I'm recording, so you don't get to see my picture. But it's there. So yeah. As
Yay.
previously mentioned, our first topic is going to be supernatural occurrences. And such.
So who wants to go first?
I don't know.
Andy, one of you go first.
Huh.
Well, I have a story. I wasn't actually there for this, but I heard about it. So my dad was at his work. He doesn't work there anymore, but he was at the university, and I forget, it was either the morning or really early in the morning or really late at night. But either way,
It's
there
really
was.
early in the morning.
All right, it was really early in the morning, and there was no one else there, and a lot of places on campus are supposedly haunted, and his building that he was working in was one of them. And he said he felt like someone was watching over him, but there's no one else there, so it was kind of weird. And then he turned around and he saw something run by, and then he was all freaked out. And he told me and my mom that story as we were going to bed. We're like, oh yeah, thanks for waiting until now to tell us that.
He said it was an old lady.
Yeah, an old lady.
Oh yeah, that's even creepier because old ladies can't run.
Old ladies can't run, David 2017.
I don't think he said
Unless
it
they
was
have
an-
the, and I'm not marketing here, hurricane.
That's almost as good as eBay. You
So
guys
I
don't
have
get
some.
to know what that is.
So he talked to the guy who worked there, who got there after he did, and that guy had also seen it before.
So maybe they just got creepy old ladies watching them. I have a lot of scary stories with ghosts and stuff. So one of them, I was in elementary school, and there was like fights that went on like old times, like
Oh,
just
geez.
after, like not like fights, not like fist fights, like like
Oh.
100 years ago, so or hundreds of years ago, like wars here. We looked up like history on it, and one time I was in the middle of the school and we all just heard like a fire, like somebody shout fire, and like nobody even shouted in the room. That was weird. And we were just like freaked out for the rest of the day because we were just in the library and we just heard somebody shout fire, and like that was scary. And then also we had when I was young, my grandpa passed away, and I talked about this, I think, and I saw
Yeah.
his hand go through the door. That's old stuff. And then uh my one of my mom's good friends, I've known him forever. He used to be the manager at Levy's Commons, which is in Perrysburg, around where we live, and
Yeah.
that he always goes in like to like buildings that like aren't commonly like went into, and like he's seen like camera footage of like girls just like slamming doors shut and like just walking around, and he was just like describing it how you could like hear someone and he just like dipped.
My computer just like kicked it into high gear and it's go like the fans are spinning really fast and it's making a lot of noise now and I don't know what it's doing.
In case you didn't know, Nick's computer is possessed by the devil.
Oh
Just gonna
yeah, so is this
close that real
keyboard.
quick. Hopefully that makes it calm itself. Guess I can't record anything cool on my Xbox though, so let's hope I don't do anything.
But yeah, so those are I have a lot of stories of like scary stuff, but my my mom's friend, he would just like he told us about like just like stuff like ladies just like chilling out in rooms and like you can hear like crying and like doors slamming shut on people in like these like abandoned places of this giant mall. And it's like creepy. That's about it for me though.
Huh.
Alright. Anyone else have any supernatural stories? Nope.
Like I said, Nick's keyboard is possessed by the devil.
I'll let you explain that one since you seem to like saying that.
Basically, Nick's keyboard goes rogue a lot. Well, it doesn't anymore, but it did go rogue a lot.
So I looked it up and I don't know if it's just a weird setting or if it's a bug in this kind of keyboard that I have, but something with they're called macro keys. It's like it it's like a really good keyboard, so it's like fancy and has these buttons on the side. There's like 5 buttons that you can program to whatever you want for easy access to those keys on just like right on the left side. But if you try to if you try to program them, it'll like spaz out the keyboard sometimes and like just randomly type in keys. Yeah.
But anyway, Nick was trying to figure stuff out, and he somehow got to keystrokes or something,
Yeah.
and it was 666.
Yeah. It was
Holy
the
crap, that's creepy.
the software that the software that you can like change the lighting and stuff on the keyboard also counts like for each game you play. You've like here I can show you. It like tells you how many times you spun the mouse wheel and how many times you've pressed like certain buttons and stuff in a stats menu here. And it was like Payday 2, I think. I had like scrolled the mouse wheel 666 times or something like that. I haven't played that
Whoa.
game in a while, so it might still be like that.
My uh Payday 2 is a lot of fun. It doesn't work on my PC though, and it's annoying. Anytime I try to load it, it's just like nope. It's like it loads up and then just goes back to the home screen and it just disappears.
It's not.
And then
Maybe I like reinstalled the software or something, but it's not showing any numbers. So, well, this says. Yeah,
I
see,
also,
like it tells
as
you mouse clicks and distance scrolled with the wheel and that kind of stuff.
I
Anyway.
just remembered another story.
Mm-hmm.
So, I lived in an apartment for 10 years, the same apartment for 10 years, and I just now moved into a house like now almost a year. It was a year ago, last year. But yeah, I lived in this apartment for 10 years, and I when I first moved in, I swore I would like see stuff run down in the halls, and I would hear like everywhere, and I would just see like things like running, and I would just like go lay down, and they would just stop.
Oh, jeez.
is always freaky because I never wanted to get up from my bed when uh, after laid down because I would just see stuff like running down the hall. And my brother was in the room with me, so it couldn't have been him.
One card left in Uno, and I got wrecked.
I have something.
All right.
Alright.
Where a lot of times it seems like it's not even coincidental. For example, I was at like church last week, and our priest goes up and he's like talking about certain things, and you do like the gospel or whatever, and in the gospel they said the word salt, and for some reason I focused in my brain on the word salt, and I was thinking about chemistry, like oh salt, this, and then eventually when the priest goes up to give his homily, he's like salt, and then he starts talking about salt for like half an hour. And during his speech, towards the beginning, I'm thinking about how salt can preserve things, and later in his speech, he gets on to preservation, and it takes up a lot of his speech. And it's just like sometimes, like I predict things, or like I was thinking about a girl,
You have
and
the
like
sixth
I was
sense.
like, what if she came around the corner right now, and then she comes around the corner that I couldn't see or anything. She'll just come around the corner. It'll be so weird that I just predict things
Sixth
sometimes.
sense.
Yeah.
But always right before it happens. It's not like, oh, well, this will happen tomorrow. It's like, wouldn't it be funny if this happened right now and then it happens?
Yeah.
I just imagine like every time you're thinking about that, I just imagine that That's So Raven thing just playing. Like you can gaze into the future.
Did you ever watch the episode of That's So Raven where they figured out why she did that?
Why?
They
Why
found
was
out like that she had a lotion that she was using that her friend gave her like on a weekly basis that was actually she was allergic to it. And they're
and
like,
it gave
oh,
her
she's
psychic
allergic to it.
powers?
So it gave her psychic powers. It's like, it's the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
I didn't think
I
it
just
was
remember.
stupid.
I think that's funny, and it's just like, oh, this lotion. Wait, does she get it taken away from her, like briefly?
No, well, she's like, do you want to stop having They like get all dramatic about it. They're like, do I want to stop having these visions? And then she's like, and she like really has to like sit and think about it. And then she's like, no, I'll just keep using the lotion.
You can gaze
So,
into the future. That's the only line
oh
I
my
know.
gosh.
I don't know the rest.
So you'd think she'd see into the future and see what her choice was.
Yeah.
See if her choice. Oh my gosh.
But yeah, I imagine Andrew is the male, real. That's so
Maybe
rape.
maybe I should look into my lotion. I should just.
I don't even use lotion, so that wouldn't work for me. Nick, do you use lotion?
Not really.
Andy, do you use lotion?
Nope.
I don't use lotion more as like shampoo and stuff, but you know,
Oh, yeah.
I should probably look into my
I just
shampoo.
imagine somebody writes in the comments like, "Who uses shampoo?" Am I right, guys?
You gotta use shampoo.
I've had to start using lotion because the cleaner stuff we use at Poly has like destroyed my hands.
What for? Like it just like dried it out?
It's like degreaser stuff or something, and it just dried out like my thumb and well, I can't think of the name of the finger. The middle finger and the one between that and the thumb.
Index?
Yeah, the index finger.
When Dylan forgets what his finger's called.
Hey, at least he didn't
Oh, did
forget
I-
his age.
That is
Yeah,
pretty
I
funny.
can't deny
True,
it.
true.
Hey, he turned it to Gavin.
But yeah, it just wrecked those fingers.
Did I tell you what I did today with my arm?
No.
You
Break
put
it.
it into a blender.
No, I wish.
You
Oh my
wish, what?
gosh.
No, I'm kidding. But today at school, I was like, okay, I took out a Sharpie and I drew like a dot on my hand, and I was like, oh, that's funny. It's a little dot.
Why is that
And then I
funny?
started drawing little dots around it in my hand. I was like, oh, I could dot my whole hand. And then I started dotting around that, and I just eventually dotted my entire arm.
Why?
And I like made like blue and black stripes. and it looked like a sleeve tattoo or something. I'll send you a picture later, but it was pretty cool.
I went to have a high school like run through today. I was hoping I would see Nick, but I didn't
I
see
was
him.
hoping I'd see you.
Were you upstairs third period?
Yeah, I was in art.
Oh dang it! We went to art earlier in that day. We went to wait, which art? Do you have Gavin in your art?
No.
Oh, we went to an art class that Gavin was in.
You mean Garvin?
Actually no.
Oh, okay.
Garvin was killed when his name was changed. He shall forever live in our hearts, though.
No, he's still here.
And our references.
Oh no, I dropped my thumbstick.
That's much better than something else you could have dropped. Referring to soap. Never mind, let's keep going.
Mm.
So does anyone have any more supernatural topics?
Several years ago, me and Nick's grandma and grandpa Pinkley were convinced that their house was haunted.
How so?
Oh,
Even though they built the house. They built the house and no one has lived there except them.
Who's getting the house?
Who's getting what house?
That's your mom's parents, right?
Yeah.
Like, is anybody inheriting the house?
Well, they're both still alive, so.
I'm saying.
I don't
I
know.
mean, you know what I'm saying.
I don't know what's gonna happen.
You know.
But
What I'm saying.
anyway, they said they'd just be sitting there, and then all of a sudden, like a really strong perfume scent came through. And it wasn't any kind that anyone they knew ever wore.
Whoa.
So they called her the perfume lady.
It's a pretty good name.
Very creative.
Ultra creative.
Alright, anything else? If not, I think it might be time for the runaway dog story.
My mom saw something when she worked at Polyi's campus. Polyi's.
Yeah, she probably
She
saw
was
a lot of
driving.
things.
She was driving to work and went past what we call the creepy house.
Oh, creepy bunny house.
Yeah.
Oh, I used to have a bunny. He was the best.
Not
But,
like best bunny.
Basically,
It's kind of like a mannequin, but it's like a bunny. Like it's like mannequin size, and it's like adjusting its like suit jacket, and
it's a humanoid bunny.
Yeah, like it's just looking out the window right across
Yeah,
like the
wearing a
courthouse, I
suit.
think. Yeah, wearing a suit.
It's right across the street from the courthouse.
They also
and
have a
they've
cannon
got
in their front yard.
yeah,
pointed
they've
at
got a
the
cannon on the
courthouse.
front porch aimed at the courthouse.
Wait. Who has a cannon?
At the creepy house.
The creepy bunny house. We've never
Oh my
called it the creepy
gosh.
house. Not a single time.
And there's like a crow thing on the roof.
Yeah, it's a really weird house. And like right around the corner from that, I think it's right around the corner. I might be thinking of somewhere else, but there's like this house that's supposedly really known for being haunted.
The Painted Lady house.
Yeah.
I forget who it was. There was some famous guy that used to live there.
Probably
Famous?
like Tom Brady.
No, it wasn't Tom Brady.
You sure?
Pretty sure.
Alright.
Yeah. Houses are creepy. Did you know there's like 3-foot tall bunnies
No.
you can order, or you can not order? You can get like a 4 or 3-foot tall bunny, and it's like humongous. Like it's probably about as tall as Dylan.
Dylan is a lot taller than 3 feet.
Yeah.
Not 3 feet. It's It's probably like 3/4 of Dylan's size. Dylan's like 5 something.
5'9", I think.
Yeah, so it's probably about maybe half of what Dylan is. They're humongous. They're pretty cool. But they're also kind of terrifying because it looks like they could like chomp off your face. They have like humongous teeth.
You want to
Yeah.
send me
Kind of,
a picture? I can add one into this podcast.
yeah, I'll do that later.
Make sure
But
you mark down the time.
I am.
let's
Well, time of the call, I don't.
so picture coming up now.
Unless Dave slacks and doesn't send the picture.
Oh, I will.
Very,
Do I need to
big
send it
picture
now?
for me. I have to.
Do I need to send it? But so now are we going on the chasing dog story?
Does anyone else have any supernatural stories left?
Why don't you tell the dog story and I'll just keep it in, or we can just keep it in mind if we think of any.
All right.
Supernatural is a good show.
Oh, yes.
Alright, so, I don't know if the Andrews know this. I'd assume at least one of them does. Was it Sunday or Saturday? Dylan.
Saturday.
Last Saturday we got a new dog. And,
Oh, really?
yeah. We got a
Manny
new
and
dog.
Afternoon don't like him.
Afternoon. Well, he and Afternoon are like terrified of each other. It's kind of weird. Like they both always just hide, and Afternoon like makes their tail like all big, try to act scary. I'm guessing that was the picture of the bunny. Okay. Anyway, so Afternoon always tries to make herself look tough, but then like runs and hides, and then he seems interested, but then always runs away too. Sometimes he tries to like go up to her, but it's really weird. And then Manny just always barks at him if he gets near. Like if my mom and Manny are sitting together, which they almost always are, and Riley is his name, goes up next to either of them,
It's actually Riley.
then oh, it's knocked over a bottle. Then Manny goes all bark mode, and that's not good. But anyway, so yesterday, Dylan was like, "Yo, I need some water, and you guys best be bringing me over a case right now, 'cause you ain't got anything going on." And then my dad was like, "Okay, I got you." And then he took a case of water from inside the house.
And then we both joined a street gang.
Yeah, yeah. And he was bringing it to the back of the car, and I don't know how it happened because I was doing my homework, but somehow when he was bringing the water to the car, the dog, he bailed. He got out of this place. He just ran, and my dad said he like chased him across the street behind the house, and then he ran away, and he said he was like really close to catching him there, but he's just really fast. And this was at like 6:30ish, around there, so it was getting dark, and it was like pretty dark, so it was hard to see him as it is, and he was just running around, and we didn't know what to do, so we were like, at first I just ran out looking for him in a Under Armour type shirt, so something that doesn't really protect you from the cold, short sleeves, and no phone or anything, so if they found him, I'd still be out there looking in this cold. But then eventually, and they were driving, by the way, and we were all trying to find him, and we couldn't find, or I thought we were all trying to find him, but it turns out in the middle of him getting out and running around our neighborhood, my mom's like, "Oh yeah, I'll still go bring me that case of water, Dylan, because you know I can't help you at home." That made me mad. But so she came back, and then we were looking, and somewhere in the middle of there, I went and got a coat and a phone. But then me and my dad were driving around, and my mom was driving around separately, and we found this guy who had a dog, And at first, my dad's like, "Ooh, is that him?" And they're like, "Oh no." But he asked him like, "Have you seen a beagle running around?" And he's like, "No, we just started our walk. But if I find one, I'll let you know." So he was
How
looking.
would he have let him know?
Well, I don't know what he said. I don't. Dad's like, we live over there and stuff. But he was like looking for him as he was walking his dog. Like right as that happened, I got out to look on foot because it was very difficult to try to find him in the car, which I don't understand why they thought that would have been a good idea, because the car's so loud and so hard to see, and yeah, it didn't work well. So I got out and then started walking around, but I don't know how I would maybe add in a Google Maps picture. Maybe, I don't know, but I don't know how to describe like how our neighborhood is. There's like this big circle kind of thing, but it's not a circle. But
It's
it's
like
like
an oval.
kinda, yeah.
An oval that had a stroke.
Yeah, it's really hard to explain. But anyway, our house is on like the corner of the stroke part of the oval. And I was like walking around that part. And right as I was getting back to our house, I saw the dude and he was like, thought I heard a beagle, cause they make a really unique and weird bark sound. It's like, and that's their bark. So he said he thought he heard one, but there wasn't one. He didn't see any tracks or anything by this fence, so it must have been somewhere over in this one area. So I was like, look, I was like, all right, thanks. And I was looking around our house, and then I saw a dog in the backyard. But our neighbors, like behind our house, there's another house, and they have a fence for their yard. And I thought that the dog that I saw was inside the fence. I'm like, hey, oh yeah, it's just their dog. But I'm like, well, I better go check anyway. Go up to it, and then it wasn't in the fence. I was like, oh, that's cool. And then he like ran by, and I don't know what the kind of dog is, but for some reason I saw this completely different kind of dog, and I'm like, oh, well, it'd still be him. Like went after him and like ran through their yards, up in front of their house, and then turned right beside their house, and then went back. He came back into our yard, and then as he was like running behind to our shed, and as I was doing that, I called my mom like, "Yo, he's here. I need help." And then eventually, I couldn't find him again because he went behind the shed, and I went behind the shed, and then he was just wasn't there. But my mom got there, and we were trying to find him, and then I found him by this big bush thing by our house. So I tried to go up to him, and he just ran really fast across the street. I think around where my dad originally almost caught him, and then went to the right to this other house, and they have, I don't know how to describe this. They have like this porch that's like not even a foot off the ground, but on the sides it's like open and you can get underneath it, but it's like really low to the ground. He had to do his little thing where he like completely flattens out and just scoots himself around, which he likes to do a lot, to get underneath, and then had a little more room. But he was just like sitting
He
under this
really doesn't
porch.
like you guys.
Like I don't understand why he likes us when he's at home, but when he gets outside, he just bails. We thought he was just scared, and that's what he was doing. But for another like half an hour, because it was already like 45 minutes to an hour that we were looking for, and then I finally found him. We chased him across the street under this porch, and I'm like, all right, he's under here. We should call Dad and have him help us, because we didn't know how to get him out from underneath the porch. So then
And then the guy whose house it was came out with a shotgun and was like, "Get off my lawn!"
yeah, I was afraid the guy
Oh
was
my
gonna come
gosh.
out, but the neighbors of that guy said I didn't hear it, but my mom did, and they said something like they don't think the guy gets home till 10. So that guy's gonna get home. There's just gonna be all these like footprints and stuff on his porch, and because it was like this perfectly clean snow, like no one was back there. So he's just gonna walk outside, and there's like all
So
these footprints right next to his door. Because he was like stomping on it to try to get him out, and it's gonna be like, what happened here?
he's like, "Oh, someone probably got under the porch and stole all my crack."
Yeah, maybe. There was a baseball under there. That's about all. There's A lot of leaves too.
Wait a minute. They were under the porch.
Anyway, so we were just trying to
Maybe the
get
baseball contained the
yeah,
crack.
maybe. That's how he sells it.
Yep. He gives them baseballs.
So
Gotta go
so
get some
wait, did this guy
baseball.
have a real shotgun?
No.
No, it was sarcasm. He didn't have a
Oh,
shotgun.
okay.
The dude
I
never
was
came
gonna
out.
Are
say.
you kidding me, Andrew?
The dude never came outside. We don't think he was home. But his dogs were barking at us. So
I
See,
was
I
just
wasn't
I was just
there,
saying it would have been
so
really cool if the guy just like comes out, pumps the shotgun, get off my lawn.
like
I wasn't there, so I took a bit of artistic liberties.
yeah. So anyway,
My
we're trying to get him, and we keep getting him close to one side, and then try to get him, and he goes to the other side, and then it was just a whole mess. And then my dad's like, "Well, let's try just like making no noise and standing like on the sides and see if he comes out on his own." And at first that worked, and his head poked out on the opposite side of where he went in, behind this little steps, I guess, to get up onto this tiny porch that you could easily just step up onto. Maybe he has a dog like Manny that would not be able to do that or something. I don't know. But he was beside there and his head poked out. I'm like, oh, there he is. And I thought I was going slow and tried to get him. And then he just scooted himself back underneath. And then we did it again a few minutes later after we tried to get him out the other way again. And he gets like most of the way out, and then I think he must have saw me and actually recognized me, or just decided he was done, and then just kind of sat there and let me pick him up and walk him or carry him home. Like after all of that, you just that's how I get you. You don't make me work for it anymore. I get it. What
I
happened?
would have thought that was adorable. Him like sitting down and letting you pick him up.
Yeah,
Or
it was
let-
freezing though, by the way. So.
And then today, Nick opened the door and
Oh,
he got out again.
We'll get to that. But like my hands, like I couldn't even make a fist. They were so cold, and I had like two gloves on one hand and one glove that was like actually like a heavy duty glove on the other hand. Like not a heavy duty glove, but like a cover more heat concealing glove. So that hand was warm, and then the other one warmer, but still like
More
frozen.
insulated.
Yeah, so that hand was pretty cold, but the other hand was like frozen. So yeah, and then we eventually got him, and then yeah, all of that. Well, I was trying to do my homework, and it was taking forever because I had a ton to do. And then both things I spent all night doing, the due dates got moved back, so I didn't need to do either of them then. But we just had Poly Eyes, which is a local restaurant for the most part. And I had that, and it was just sitting in the oven because I wanted it to stay warm. And then it was like 2.5 hours later before I finally got to eat it. Still good though.
At least you got him.
Yeah.
And then what happened today?
And then today, I think she's all good now, but there was something with our cat afternoon, and she ate some food finally because she hadn't ate for a few days. Very much, she hadn't ate very much, if any, the past few days. But we finally took her to the vet, and she was eating. Actually, no, this was before we took her to the vet. But she ate a tiny bit, and then she just threw it all back up in my bed. So I took my sheets off, and I was like waving the stuff off outside, and then he got out, and nobody was able to get him. And then
So you had to chase him
I
again?
ran and got my shoes, and these two tools, my Dylan and my mom, were getting in the car again when it didn't work at all last night. And I chased, or
I wasn't getting in the car.
we were standing at the
My
car.
dad called me, and my mom was trying to call my dad, but he didn't answer because he was in the middle of calling me, so I was handing her the phone.
Well, regardless, someone was still getting in the car. Anyway, I was like, great, don't know where he went. My mom said he went this way. I'll look. So I walked down the road, kind of slow, because I had no hope of finding him very quickly. And I got down to the end of the road, and then I don't even know what it was. I don't know if it was like a way to get into like a cellar or like the basement or something. It was just, I think it might have just been like a window, but there was like this big drop down at this house at the corner of the other corner of the oval stroke. There, that house, and he like went in there, kind of chased them all around their yard, and then he, I got him.
Then he jumped down that hole and was trapped.
No, he could get out. He did jump down it, but he could get out. Then I carried him back again down the street, got him inside. Both times, I was the one to get him. So me.
So the moral of the story is no one else should bother. We should just send Nick.
The moral of the story: if anyone needs a dog catching, I'll do it for some big bucks. Cause people are crazy about the dogs, so they'll be like, just take my money. And I'd be like,
My
go ahead,
dog,
mate.
my dog got out. Can you help me find him? Yeah. Where are you? Texas. Oh.
I'll be there in 30.
That'll be $5,000.
30 hours. Oh yeah, and the price? Out of state's a bit pricey. Mine are like $10,000 an hour.
Holy crap!
Oh, and you're in the part of Texas that's Central Time Zone.
I would
That's
certainly
gonna
take
add in a
that.
time zone fee.
Like, and I charge you while I'm taking a plane to get over there too, or driving there, whichever.
Miles, one
Go
time,
drive.
it was adorable and terrifying. So me and my mom was gonna take me to film club, which is my other film thing. So we were chilling out. Gavin was supposed to watch Miles. Gavin was supposed to watch Miles, which is my dog. And so we get out. My mom opens up the garage door, and my mom looks in her rearview mirror, and all we see is Miles just sitting down looking at the car. It was so cute, but my mom was like, "Oh my God, Miles is outside!" And we had to like run and like grab him. Thankfully, he doesn't like the
Wait,
street,
wait,
so
wait.
he didn't run into
So-
the street or anything.
She was mad
So she
that he
almost
was
backed
outside,
over him,
but
and
not
her
that-
concern was that he was
Yeah.
outside.
Wait,
Nah.
what'd you say?
She was mad that he was outside, not that he was right behind the cars that was backing up.
She was mad at both, and she hadn't backed up yet. She wasn't happy about either.
You made it sound like she was backing up and was like a foot away from him. It was like, oh, why are you outside? Not, what are you doing behind the car?
Oh, double kill with a car.
David's dog
That's
is
awesome.
suicidal.
That's
Yeah,
not
but
good. And
it
who
was
made
really
soap,
cute and
apparently.
terrifying at the same time because he just sat down looking at us as like my mom was like looking in her mirror, and then she just like, and then we just went and grabbed him and put him inside. And my mom was really mad at Gavin.
So he tried
Because
to
he
get
was on the
himself
toilet.
run over by a car, and that didn't work. So then yesterday he tried eating a bar of soap, but that didn't work either.
I
Because
don't,
that's non-toxic.
I don't know
so
anything about this soap business besides it made his poo smell good.
it
Or
didn't
not-
smell
not-
good.
not
It just
smell
didn't smell
good,
like
not smell
anything.
bad.
It didn't smell like anything.
I found that
I was
out
just chilling out
a
on my
bit ago.
bed. I'd look over and I just see poop, and I'm like, I did not even smell that.
Alright, well that's something. Andy D, do you have any dog stories you want to share? You've been pretty quiet.
Nope.
Okay.
Do you have a good dog?
Yep.
Yes, Spike's a good boy.
Yeah. Miles is a good boy, but he's not scratching me.
No, he does not sound like a good boy from the past few stories.
Miles is good, except for when he's not.
Alright, what about you, Andrew? Do you have any dog stories?
Do you even have a dog?
Two.
Yes, too.
Me?
Yeah.
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 Other Andrew.
Well, let me tell you, Buster was kind of like that. Buster was, he would run out wherever
Oh, you
he
do
wanted
have
to
a
go.
good dog story.
Me?
Yeah.
Like, which one are you referring to?
The one with his leg getting injured.
Oh my gosh, that one's terrible. That's a terrible one to tell, but I guess it is pretty good. So my dad eventually.
Did you crush a door on his leg?
No, no,
No,
just-
no,
just
no.
let
No,
him-
it's
let him
worse
tell
than
it.
that.
Let-
Did you shank his leg?
Let him tell the story.
So we didn't walk my dogs that often. And at one point we lived in this place where the back was connected to a golf course. And so my dad bought like a golf cart because he wanted to pay for a membership. It's called like Brandywine. And so we go out there, and eventually somehow, and I don't know how he did this. Like our dogs were never good with like coming back into our house without leashes, like they'd run off or whatever. But eventually, my dad was able to train our dog to not like run away, and so the dog would follow my dad on the golf cart, and my dad would go awfully fast sometimes.
Oh, did he
And
run over his leg?
and
Let him
and
get
one
to
time,
the story.
and one time my dad was going down the hill with the golf cart, and Buster ran in the way for no real reason. And my dad tried to stop as quick as he could, but that didn't stop him from hitting Buster a little.
Oh,
So
a little.
yeah, well, it was pretty bad because Buster was freaking out, and we
I
had to
just
take
got
him to the
ran
ER
over.
or whatever.
I think it's acceptable to freak
Like,
out.
is there like a vet ER? Or do you take him to like the human?
Yeah, there's like a pet care type of thing. We didn't know if he was gonna make it. He luckily did, but it was pretty bad.
That's why you don't
Was
golf
Gr-
cart.
Okay, wait. How did you guys? Was Grandpa there?
Where?
I'm not
I
sure.
know-
I know
I-
he told us about it.
I know Buster was over at Grandma and Grandpa's house, and he had like his little thing on his leg.
Yeah, because his leg was in like a sling or something, and when I
Yeah.
first looked, I thought he only had 3 legs.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. I'm like, wait, what? What happened to him? And then someone's like, oh yeah, he was run over by a golf cart. I was like, wait, what? Like,
Grandpa doggy
Buster got run over by a
by a
golf
golf
cart.
cart. I was
At
trying to
least
think
it-
of something
at
that
least
was
it wasn't the cat that got ran over by a combine.
Hobo
got run
got run over by a combine.
got run over by a combine.
Hobo.
Luckily, wait,
The ironic thing is that cat did get run over by a semi.
Wait, what
So-
cat? Like, explain.
Hobo.
weren't
explain.
these people crazy? I don't think I ever really knew them, but weren't they crazy?
Kind of.
So when we lived at
Alright,
Sugar
explain.
Ridge, there was these people that lived like
Oh, you talking about the psychos?
no, like
No.
across the way. I don't-
Lena and Sarah.
I don't remember how it was. Wasn't it like across the street, but like way down a path or something?
It was basically across the street. Like, right across the street was just a field, but their house was the one across the street.
Yeah, like
Closest.
across the street on our side was like the Sugar Ridge neighborhood with everyone in it. So there's this big
Uh-huh.
neighborhood, and then there's just like a big field with one house in it, and they were the crazy ones in the house. They had a cat named Tobo.
They weren't that crazy
What happened to the cat?
comparatively.
It died.
Yeah.
Whoa,
But,
In a
how?
combine.
I don't remember
No.
much, so Dylan, you can
There,
explain.
I don't remember what exactly the deal was, but I remember it was like an evil cat, and it like hated everything.
Mm.
And I forget how
was
it
Hitler?
exactly it happened.
The cat was
Kittler.
Hitler. Oh,
Did it have a little?
Hitler.
Oh my gosh, we're done.
Hitler.
Kittler.
Basically, it was an evil cat, and so we came up with the song "Hobo Got Run Over by a Combine" because it's a field over there, so it's a combine, right?
And then he got run over by a semi.
Yeah,
That's
then
kinda
we
what-
found out he got ran over by a semi later on.
So the cat actually died via semi.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, well that's
Hobo
depressing.
got run over by
a mix
semi.
a mix of a story of what we're talking about now, and Andrew, what you said earlier about your psychic powers. So
Yes.
here's a
So we
band.
predicted that cat was gonna get
Oh
run
no,
over.
not that. A different story that I'm gonna tell. There's this band called Faith No More, and I don't remember.
They're pretty epic.
They have a song called Epic. It's their most famous song that Dylan's referencing. Anyway, I forget why I said it, but Dylan was talking about this person
Oh,
when he lived in his dorm named Faith, and I'm like, oh, Faith No More. She got ran over by a truck, something like that. I don't remember what I said exactly.
Did she get run over by a truck?
the next time I saw her, she was wearing a leg brace.
Oh my gosh, what
Oh
happened?
my gosh, this is not okay.
What
I
happened?
don't
Wait,
know
wait,
what
wait,
happened,
wait.
but
I don't know what
something
happened.
to her leg, and yeah, definitely
Hope it
was
wasn't-
not my fault.
Nick's
Did you-
just like I was I was no way. It's like Nick's convicted of something. He's like, I was in no way expecting this to happen. It was purely sarcasm.
Just trying to make a band reference. This is what I get. 13 years in prison. I don't know why it was 13
Um,
years, but it was.
I'm a cellmate of a guy named Big Bubba. You don't know what it's like.
Boy. I remember Gavin always talk about Bubba.
Yep.
So
I'm
what I
just
did
gonna
see
not
today that was
say
really
what it is.
interesting, that was like a dog story, for example, was there's this judge in Ohio, and instead of like giving someone like a normal jail punishment, like for example, this girl who was in a cab and like didn't pay her
Is
cab
it
driver the
Judy?
fee.
She got 2 stars?
No, no.
Anyone who plays GTA
Oh
will get
God.
that.
She didn't pay her cab driver the fee, basically, and so the judge gave her two options. Option one was she could spend 30 days in prison, or option two was she could walk 30 miles.
30
So she
days in
took
prison.
so she took the 30 miles, obviously, because it's easier or whatever, and
No, it's not.
I guess not,
Is
but
it walk 30 miles
Is it-
continuously?
no, I don't think it's continuously. Well, it would be so hard in a day. I don't know if you could even do that.
It
But
depends
anyway.
on who you are.
There was this
Some
woman who was
people
torturing like a
Walk
dog.
for a living.
And I thought, like, okay, well, walking isn't that bad. I guess he can do that because he's like a local community judge or whatever. But what I didn't know was this other one came up where this woman like had her dog, and she was like abusing her dog, and she was basically a hoarder and stuff. And she said, "Well, your dog was living in unclean conditions without food, so I want you to see how that feels like. So you can either go to like prison for a few days, or you can sit in the city dump in the nastiest part for 8 hours."
I like this
And so
guy.
she took it. She took the 8 hours thing, and she just sat in this city dump. It was so awkward. I just thought it was like
Were we just
hilarious.
watching her for the whole 8 hours?
Oh my gosh!
And they live streamed it.
And well, they came in to like video her, and she had to like pick up trash as well, I guess. But I was like, you really let her do this? Like, you really
She's
let
gonna
this
get
woman?
like some sort of disease.
Yeah, that's what I was
Like
feeling.
I'm gonna
too.
throw my
See,
friend
but
in the sewer over the weekend. He's gonna
She
get
can't.
disease.
She can't sue them because it was her choice.
Yes, and not to mention, she showed up like it said that here's her showing up, and she showed up in like flip flops, like this like dress. She said, "I couldn't find my other shoes, so I just put these on." It was like, oh my gosh, this is the stupidest thing I've ever seen. And so they gave her like these weird like boots and stuff she could like crawl through the trash in. It was crazy.
I just imagine some girl with like split teeth, like I couldn't find boots.
Can you imagine if she like found like was digging through the trash and just found like a bag of hundreds or something?
Or like an
Ooh.
Xbox
Wipes
One.
money
Or cocaine.
down.
Or just like a bag of meth and was like, jackpot! I'm gonna buy so much cocaine with it. She's gonna trade the meth for cocaine.
I don't know if that's how drugs usually. Okay.
I mean,
You said it was called the drug trade.
Oh my gosh, I don't know how drug dealers get away with the kind of stuff that they do. I don't understand.
because they do it under the radar. They do it like late at night.
No. You say that they do it under the radar, but there's this girl on my bus, and she's
Does
like,
she do drugs?
no, she doesn't do drugs. She's like,
She
has
sells them.
Snapchat, and she showed
Ow!
me yesterday. She's like,
Ow!
what happened? Are you
I
good?
hit my knee.
So this
Oh,
is
good luck.
normal. Whenever we're in a call with Sir David,
Oh.
almost every time he goes, "Ow, my insert body part here." Ah. So
Anyway, go on.
he's good.
Okay, so this girl, she shows me this thing on her Snapchat, and she's like, "Oh yeah, this is a cool guy," and I was like, "So what's his deal?" And she's like, "He's a drug dealer," and I was like, "Wait a minute, stop." So you know that this guy's a drug dealer just from his Snapchat story, and she's like, "Yeah, like look, here's some marijuana," and I was like, "Wait a minute, wait a minute." So this guy is out in the public. and he's like in the Toledo area or whatever, and he's just like has pictures of his drugs and all the money that he's making, and nobody's caught him. Like, how stupid are these people that do this?
There's like all like the middle schoolers that like post videos of them vaping. It's like, you idiot. They could just
Yeah.
like go over. It's like, you're under arrest for illegal smoking. It's like, dang it! I didn't think smoking a blunt on my Instagram would get caught.
It's just so dumb, especially because, and you'd think like
There's a lot of drug dealers in our school
people think that
and smokers.
Not
You
as
you
know that?
know,
much drug
people are
dealers,
so
drug
stupid
addicts.
nowadays,
There's a
but
lot of
you're like more
smokers.
exposed to it because of the
Do
internet.
people smoke in your school, Andrew?
My school?
Yeah.
Well, the name of my school is Anthony Wayne, but all the other schools in the area call us Anthony Weed.
They do.
Yeah,
I've been to yours. I've been to Anthony Wayne. I went there.
you
for
have?
A band thing. I went there for a band thing, and
Oh.
you guys have like Macs in your freaking. You guys have Macs in your computer labs, and I'm so annoyed.
Oh yeah, we have Max in our media center where if you call
So
the library, there's these women that run it and they're called media center specialists. But if you call them a librarian, they'll freak out on you. Be like, "We are media center specialists."
Is it like when you call a doctor Mister?
Yeah.
What
Yeah,
do you
I
call
guess.
them besides Mister?
Doctor.
Doctor.
No, it's like what's the one military position where you cannot call them sir?
I don't know.
You know what I'm talking about?
Just like a.
If they're like a lieutenant or something, whenever they like stop being in the
Is it
military.
like a
you cannot-
colonel? You
I
have
don't
to
know if
call-
it's a colonel, but you like can't call them sir when they leave the military. You're just like if you call them sir, it's kind of like disgraceful. I don't know. I'll have to look it up.
So I just have a question. I want to backtrack. When you said, do people smoke in your school, did you mean literally in the school? Or like a bunch of people?
like people smoke outside of school.
Okay, I
like-
was going to say because people
I mean,
at
some people
PG
have
do
smoked in
both.
our school.
Yeah, they do both.
People have smoked in our school.
At my school, nobody smokes inside, but there's a bunch of kids like when you walk into a stall, you know it smells fruity because somebody was like vaping or something in there,
Oh yeah.
and then you like what?
There were
What?
some kids smoking a vape in like the middle school. A lot of stuff. You know, we'll just go to our school's history of bad things that have occurred.
Well,
No, I want
we're running out of time, so let's just give like a few little stories.
well, okay. I'll
but
give.
We,
I'll
we
give.
could
So,
save this.
so-
We could save this schools and smoking stuff for the next one.
Yeah, but
That's
hold
actually-
on.
We
Jake,
could.
hold on. Andrew, what were you saying? I have one quick thing I want to say after that, but what were you in?
Well, you just see the kids that are vaping in there, and you know, like, there's a few kids, of course, that are like, oh, well, he's a total stoner. There's one kid who, like, was a total druggie who just walks into study hall one day, and he's like, here's a quarter, buy yourself a gumball, and he flicks it to me. And I just catch it. I'm like, thanks. It was just weird. All right, Nick.
So there's this one kid, and I don't have this class anymore because it was a semester class, but it was this pop culture class. And
Oh, I'm gonna take that next year.
nice.
It looks so fun.
It's a good
yeah.
class.
Is it? What's this? What's the teacher's name again?
Udak.
Yeah, Mr. Hudock. Yeah, I wanna have him as our teacher.
Yeah, he's awesome. But anyway, so he's a stoner, like hardcore, not as hardcore as this other guy. I know.
The teacher?
No. The one kid that sits by me in the class, and he had like a vape or 2 or 3 or I don't know. He had like 3 at one point, but he had someone that in this little like what are those things called? Little things with the strings on, like the backpack with the strings on it that you pull and then it shuts and then you
A
like
satchel.
a satchel. I forget what it's called. but-
Drawstring.
yeah, drawstring backpack, and he like set it down, and then it just like activated the vape, and it just started going off. And there's like all this smoke. It's like, wait, is that my backpack?
Did he get in trouble?
No, I don't know how the teacher didn't notice or didn't care or anything, but no one said anything.
That's hilarious.
people around him.
My
just looking
backpack's
like,
on
what's
fire.
going on?
That's what I would have said. It's like, my backpack is on fruity fire.
But you're not allowed to know that because I don't want to get in trouble. But yeah,
Can you get
If
in
somebody
trouble?
was like,
Yeah,
why does
you
it
probably
smell
can.
fruit? Why do you smell fruity? It's like, it's my cologne. It's called Orangey Glad.
I forget what it was. It was like vanilla or something. He said it wasn't like fruity, but it was.
I hate the smell of vanilla vape. My dad does it because he's trying to off smoking, and I hate the smell.
Mm. Oh, that reminds me. In psychology today, you know how they do like the little drug test to see if your school's like really like messed up,
Like a
and they
survey
like
thing,
need
or they make you all pee in
yeah, and
cups?
they like does your school need help because people are like drinking and doing drugs all the time.
They
And so
used to do those, but I haven't had to take one of those in a long time.
we just
I
like
think you only take them in middle school.
I took one in high school.
no, well, I mean, for us they just passed one out today to all the history teachers.
Those are
So I
fun
just
to
took one real
take.
quick, and some girl was like, "So what's the difference between an e-cigarette and a vape?" And then I would kind of felt bad afterwards doing this. Like I wasn't thinking about it when I said it. I was like, "Well, actually, a vape is like kind of looks like a rectangle, and you have like lots of stuff to store in it that like can be like fruity flavors or whatever. And then you suck that in, and it's like vapor or water or whatever. Whereas an e-cigarette is like water, but it's like more like a pen shape, and it's not like a super big tank of fruity things." And they were like, well, "Thanks for clarifying. Why do you know the difference?" Like they were getting suspicious of me, and I was like, "Because like people should know this, I guess. Like
If you stuttered,
you've never
if you,
seen a commercial for this kind of thing."
they probably think you're a huge druggie now.
I say so many dumb things on social psychology. It's pretty bad.
It's always funny to see those surveys because you know people aren't gonna answer it honestly, and half the time they all
I think
just
there's
like
a kid in my
they've never
grade that
done
like
any of
said
this.
yes to everything.
Yeah, like
There's like a
they've
kid
never
that said
done any
like
drugs or
I've
anything,
done
but they just mark
cocaine.
like I do cocaine on a daily basis. I do heroin on a weekly basis. Like they just mark all the high. Someone's like,
They also add in fake ones
Mm.
to catch those people.
wait, like what? What
I do-
fake ones? I don't remember any fake ones.
I do
I don't
hardcore
remember.
pills as I sniff in gas fumes.
Oh yeah,
It's like,
I inhale
daily,
gasoline.
man.
do you do Fruit Loops?
I inhale
I don't
gasoline.
think they had on any of those on the ones that I have taken.
Yeah, they didn't do any of mine.
I
was
huff
a terrible voice
gasoline
crack.
every day.
Do you smell that?
I actually love the smell of gasoline, but I don't like grab tanks and smell it.
I like.
Is that just me? Does anybody else like the smell of gasoline?
I like the smell of like when you cut your lawn, but not like straight up gasoline.
Like no, I'm saying like when you're in the car and like
Why do you smell gas in your car?
like
I
in,
think
you're
you
in
have
your
a
car
leak.
at a gas when you're in your car at a gas station and your parents get out and they like start pumping the gas into the car. I think it smells really good.
I don't usually
It's
smell gas.
it's an
My
alright
parents
smell.
actually make the gas in the tank, not like.
Yeah, they do. You don't just
But
listen.
You shouldn't be smelling that, buddy.
do your
It's
parents
just around. It's just in the area. You guys are weird.
leave the engine on when they put the gas in?
No.
Oh,
Do people
I was
still
gonna
say
say-
that you shouldn't be on your phone when you're getting gas?
No, but you shouldn't get in and out of your car
Yeah,
with your phone.
I know.
Well-
I know that's what it is, but like, do people still like freak out if you're like, "Hey man, don't do that! You gonna blow this place up!"
if what you do what?
If you like on your phone while you're pumping gas and you like get in and out of the car.
Well, I mean, if you use like the automatic lever while you're pumping gas, you shouldn't. Yeah, I mean, I guess you can just sit there. But I guess you shouldn't be on your phone because
You're not supposed to get in and out of your car because static electricity could cause the place to explode.
they say that static electricity, if you get shocked by your car or whatever, it's enough to ignite a flame, which would blow up the entire gas station in your car.
Yeah.
But you know,
But I haven't heard people say that in a while. So
Yeah, and also don't leave
I
your
learned
engine
that from an
running.
episode of Mythbusters.
I've
Yeah.
heard that one too with the engine. All right, well, this has been a pretty good podcast, and it has been starring Andy M. Andrew M.
Hello.
Sorry. And he might be on our next one. We don't know. He might become a regular, but at this point he's still a special guest. It's also been starring Davis Diggle, who goes by many names. One of them is Davis Diggle. David.
David Stiggle, Dickie Dave, David.
Yeah, David.
Chris.
On his other account, if you look, Diggy D, that's his other name. It's also been starring Dylan, also known as Dylan.
Yo.
You gotta
Can
say
we
some
really
more
say-
words, because then your name will pop up here. Say some more words, Dylan.
Say some more words. My name is Dylan, and
There
I'm
you
here to
go.
talk to you about spinning the dryer.
Alright, well there's Dylan, and
Did you say spit in the dryer?
spinning?
Spinning the dryer.
It is also had, but he said like 5 words, and DD.
Yo.
Oh.
There's him.
The bass kicks in.
When the bass drops, yo.
Alright, well thank you all for watching. This has been the Unreliable Podcast episode, I don't know, too unreliable for me to remember. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed...
Also, make sure everybody here likes jazz.
Okay, yeah, let's
I
not
thought
talk
you were
about
gonna say
jazz.
make sure that if you enjoyed, you
That's
like
what I was
and
trying to say.
subscribe.
Also,
if
make
you
sure you
enjoyed-
order 2 large number 9s.
Okay, well, before he makes any other references, I will see you next week.
I'm gonna DDoS your sister's life support.
Oh.
That's so
Oh.
funny because it makes no sense. I'm gonna DDoS your sister's life support.